This is me testing and speaking in English right now to test the limits of this model. और अगर मैं हिंदी में बोलता हूँ यही बात कि मैं ये चीज़ बोल के देखना चाहता हूँ कि अगर मेरी स्पीच ट्रांसक्राइब हो पाती है या नहीं इस मॉडल से.
И вот теперь я говорю по-русски. Сегодняшний день был хорошим, и прямо сейчас я записываю видео для YouTube.
Right, so right now we have mix of three completely different languages inside one voice note, and let's see if this model is going to work or not for this use case. So let's see. I'll click forward, I'll click share, and I'll click transcribe. Fingers crossed. Let's see how the model responds. And yes, as you can see, it is able to accurately transcribe all three languages at once. Hello everyone, it's been a long time and I just want to say one thing before we start.
Hello family members and welcome back to my channel.
Yes, welcome back to my channel, and I have been gone for a while, but now I'm back. From the last time, I have been traveling all around, and recently I have been in a foreign country where I did not know the language. Now we usually get by that restriction by using translation apps, but that's only possible when we are talking one-on-one with people. But there is one special case that happened to me. People were sending me voice notes on WhatsApp to communicate, and I did not know that language. And to my surprise, WhatsApp's inbuilt transcription models also did not have support for that language, so I was kind of stuck. I could not transcribe, and translation was out of question because the input was voice notes. So I thought this might be an issue with a lot of other peoples, especially travelers, maybe other use cases like people with hearing disabilities, or maybe someone who's trying to learn language or try to conversate with people of different nationalities for business. So I thought, since this channel was all about voice AI, why not make a tool that at least solved my problem? And if that's useful to even one more person, I think that's pretty worth it. So in this video, I'm going to tell you all about that iOS shortcut that I have made and how you can easily transcribe as well as translate any voice note, be it in WhatsApp, Telegram, or any app that you have received in a foreign language in a few seconds using frontier voice AI models. So this is how the transcriber and translator works in real life. So this is a Google Translate page in which I have translated this block of text of English into Japanese. Now I don't know Japanese, but this is the magic of what I'm going to show you. And I have purposely added some difficult things like this kind of thing, like 3:45 in the afternoon instead of saying 3:45 p.m. because I want to test how good the model is in figuring out what the speaker is actually speaking, all from the voice note. So this is a text translation and the voice would sound like.
近年目覚ましい進歩を遂げています。
So imagine you're traveling in Japan and somebody sends you a voice note like this on the right on my WhatsApp. And there is no way right now on iPhone that you can translate this voice note into English. Yes, there is an option to transcribe this, but that also breaks if the language that you are dealing with is not supported. For example, I was in Baku recently and there they speak Azerbaijani and there was no support of that language inside the built-in transcription languages of WhatsApp. I can show you if I click on this. It's going to transcribe in English, but since the language is not supported, it will say transcript unavailable. So what I can do is change the transcript language from this to something that they support. Okay, now if I click on Japanese and I transcribe it once again, the problem is that it will transcribe everything, but it will not transcribe everything exactly. You see all these blank spaces, and the funny thing about language is that you cannot skip spaces in between because it will change the whole meaning of that. The built-in models of WhatsApp completely fail when it comes to transcribing, and there is no way to translate this on the fly. So what we have here is, instead of relying on these unreliable transcripts, so what I'll do is I will just long press on this, click on forward, click on share, and click on TalkFlow AI Transcriber. Now everything will work automatically. It will figure out what language was spoken in that voice. First of all, it will transcribe everything in that language. And mind you, this is without specifying the model which language you're speaking. You don't have to select Japanese like I did with WhatsApp in this case. It will automatically figure out that this is Japanese, and the best thing happens in the next step. So I'll click OK, and it will ask me, do I want to translate this into English? I say yes, and within a second, you will see every single thing translated exactly how it was intended to. And this is what makes it magical, not only for people who are multilingual. If you're a traveler, you're traveling to places where they don't speak your language and people love to send voice notes. This happened to me personally, and this is the reason that this exists right now, right? So this is an example of Japanese. Now, if I do the same thing in, let's say, Hindi. So I have used this block of text, and this is the literal translation, and this is the voice note of this whole text. Now, if I want to transcribe this, see how this will fail. So I'll long press, I'll click transcribe. First, it will fail because if you select one language, it will put that language as the default for this whole chat, right? So if I change the language right here, Hindi is not supported, right? So if I choose Hindi, it's not supported. The closest that we have is English India. And if I do that and I try to transcribe this in English, see, there are a lot of spaces that it was not able to transcribe properly. And for somebody who doesn't know how to speak Hindi, this doesn't make sense because they want to see all of this, whatever is spoken inside this voice note in actual English, right? So for that, I'll long press this, click on forward, share, and share to TalkFlow Transcriber. Now this again will do its magic in the background, and within few seconds, we're going to get the exact transcription, first of all, in the source language like this, right? You can see exactly how this compares. And if I click OK and translate to English, this is going to translate everything exactly how it's supposed to be in English. Now, an English speaker is going to understand whatever is spoken in that voice note, regardless of that language. So this is pretty cool. Now, this is for Russian. So
Инструменты искусственного интеллекта становятся...
now again, in this one, I'll just long press, I'll click forward, I'll click share, and I'll just transcribe with the transcriber that we have right now. And imagine just getting voice notes and just sharing it to the model and instantly getting the transcription of whatever that speaker is speaking to you without even knowing the language, right? So this is done. Translate to English, yes. And this is exactly what we are saying in Russian in a voice note, right? Similarly, languages like Kannada are not supported natively inside WhatsApp transcription. So for lesser known languages, this comes in very handy. For example, languages like Punjabi, Telugu, Tamil, Kannada, and even international languages like Azerbaijani, Polish, these languages are not supported natively by WhatsApp transcription. And even in Telegram or native iOS, the support of languages is very, very limited. You can only get popular languages transcribed. Even then, the translation is not there. And this shortcut solves both the problems in one go. This is how it sounds.
Да, ಅರವಿಂದ್ ನಾಯರ್ ನನ್ನ ವಾರ್ಷಿಕ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ತಪಾಸಣೆಯನ್ನು ಜುಲೈ 8ರಂದು...
Yeah, I don't know Kannada myself, but this sounds complicated. Also because I have chosen deliberately to include things like these, which are very complex for models to understand and transcribe effectively. I have written these kind of formats for date and time, patient ID, room number, because usually models are pretty bad at figuring out the sequence of numbers correctly, right? And this is the litmus test of how good this model is, right? So if I long press here and click on forward, click on transcribe right here, it will figure out first of all that the language is Kannada automatically, and then it should give us the accurate translation of everything. Let's see. Right, so it figured out that everything is Kannada, and if I translate it to English, this is what we have, and we can see the numbers are exactly what they are. Even 6:32 p.m., exactly 6:32 p.m, July 8th at 9 a.m, July 8th at 9 a.m. So this model is super good. By default, no configs needed. And the best part is, since I'm doing all of this on a Superbase server, I can deploy updates, I can update the models, I can do all the things. Historically, shortcuts have been just a piece of code and sequence inside the client side. So if I have 1,000 users using my shortcut without this method, it was not possible for me to update the shortcuts remotely. But since I'm using this format of doing everything inside the cloud model, this gives me leverage to update all of my users at once whenever a new model or a better model comes up in the market, and I'm testing every single voice model that comes and always on the hunt for the best one. But before that, I thought I'll just do a litmus test and I'll combine 3 languages at once and see if this model is able to figure out, translate and transcribe all of these at once. This is something I'm doing right now on this video. I'm not sure this is going to work or not, but that's a good way to just test the limits of the model. So I'm going to speak 2 languages, Hindi and English, and I'm going to just use Google Translate to speak up another language and then combine all 3 and then see how things unfold. This is me testing and speaking in English right now to test the limits of this model. और अगर मैं हिंदी में बोलता हूँ यही बात कि मैं ये चीज़ बोल के देखना चाहता हूँ कि अगर मेरी स्पीच ट्रांसक्राइब हो पाती है या नहीं इस मॉडल से.
И вот теперь я говорю по-русски. Сегодняшний день был хорошим, и прямо сейчас я записываю видео для YouTube.
Right, so right now we have mix of 3 completely different languages inside one voice note, and let's see if this model is going to work or not for this use case. So let's see. I'll click forward, I'll click share, and I'll click transcribe. Fingers crossed. Let's see how the model responds. And yes, as you can see, it is able to accurately transcribe all 3 languages at once without even sending any custom instructions or telling the model which language is what. This is super cool. I wasn't sure if this was going to work, but it really did. Now, the next litmus test is if it's able to translate all of that in English. I click OK and I translate it to English. And yes, sure enough, it was able to translate as well. Now let me show how you can also download and use this thing for your iPhone. Okay, so to download this shortcut, it's super simple. You have to go to this link, which I'll also put in the description below. And this is what the shortcut does. And I have tried to explain everything inside this super simple graphic. And all you have to do is just sign up with your Google account. So I'm going to go do this. And now you see I get a user ID and a start free trial button. This user ID is super important because this is what will be required inside your shortcuts to make it work. Now if I start a free trial right here, this trial is for 1 day and unlimited usage. So you can just try for 1 whole day. And then if it suits your purpose, you can subscribe. So the next step would be to download this iOS shortcut right here. So I'll download this like that. And this is how it should show up at your end as well. So I'm going to click setup shortcut. And this is where it will ask you to enter your user ID, which was right here. So I'll just copy this from here. I'll go back to the shortcut and I'll paste my user ID right here. Right. And that is done. I'll click add shortcut. And now my shortcut is added. Now if I go to my WhatsApp again, and I try to just forward and share any voice message, I should be taken to this shortcut right here. You see on the right hand side, it says TalkFlow AI Transcriber. If you don't see it, click on edit actions. It should be somewhere here like this, and you just have to click plus button so that it gets added inside your favorites like that. And it shows up as the first few icons to use it. Now for the first time, if you press this, it will ask some permissions like this. So it will ask you to connect with whatever default browser you're having, because it will need some way to interact with the cloud voice AI models. So this is super important. If I click allow, and here you have to click always allow, because otherwise it will keep asking on again and again in every single request. So these 2 permissions you have to give it to make it work. So I'll click this, and within few seconds, this should be working at your end if everything was done correctly. Like that, right? So it's working for me right now. And it should work for you as well every single time. Only one-time setup is required like this. So that was it. I hope it was useful and I have tried my best to make it as easy as possible to understand, to install and to use. And since it comes with a free trial, please have a look, try it out. I'm open to feedback and I think it will work for most languages. that are even not supported by WhatsApp or Telegram or even native iOS. But still, if you have any feedback, make sure to drop in your comments. And I have also made another one, which is basically the reverse of this. So if you are someone who wants to transcribe your voice to English script from any language, I have made a solution for that as well. And by this time, if that video is uploaded, you can check that right here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.